Hey everybody, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Steph Zamorano and Ron Placone. Ron, you're going on tour.
Yeah, in November, I'm going to be in Sacramento, San Francisco, Austin, Texas, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tickets for all those shows available now at ronplacone.com.
All right, everybody check it out. Check out those. Oh, you're going to Austin?
Austin, Texas,
When?
yeah. November 10th.
Oh, right, okay. So in New York, the primary is this Thursday. So there's been a lot of hullabaloo. You know how the New York Democratic Party treats progressives, right? They cheat them, right out in the open. For instance, during the 2016 primary, New York City Board of Elections will admit it purged more than 200,000 voters from city rolls. Illegally, by the way. Illegally. Not only that it purged, illegally. And, oh, my God, turns out most of those would have been Bernie supporters. Isn't that weird?
Ah, that's strange.
Unexpected.
Here's another one. Here's DNC. Party Chief Tom Perez says DNC must keep out of primaries. DNC chairman endorses Cuomo. So they'll do anything they can to defeat a progressive. Now, this isn't just empty rhetoric. When we say that the Democrats would rather lose to a Republican than win with a progressive. Why is that? The reason why that is because they have the same donors, and the donors are just as happy with a Republican as a corporate Democrat. That's why. Okay? This is now here's another dirty trick. So this just happened. Democratic Party mailer associating Cynthia Nixon with anti-Semitism backfires. They sent out a mailer. Here's Abe Silberstein says, why is the New York State Democratic Party paying? The New York State Democratic Party is paying for a mailer that falsely accuses Cynthia Nixon of supporting BDS, which is boycott, divestment sanctions for Israel. This is a shameful smear. Here it is. That's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? That's the mailer they send out. Inexperienced Cynthia Nixon with anti-Semitism and bigotry on the rise. We can't take a chance with inexperienced Cynthia Nixon, who won't stand strong for our Jewish communities. Cynthia Nixon is against funding yeshivas. She supports BDS, the racist, xenophobe campaign. That's not true. Well, here it is, another picture of it. Here's Glenn Greenwald, what he said about it. He said, what the New York Democratic Party did here is 50% disgusting and 50% totally unsurprising and in character. It's a rotted institution led by a craven and corrupt nepotistic prince, and the entire National Democratic Party establishment has united behind him against his progressive challenger. The entire Democratic Party has united around one of the most corrupt, nepotistic pieces of it in the history of our country against the progressive challenger. Now, what does this tell you? Zach Fink says the mailer from New York Dems accusing Cynthia Nixon of anti-Semitism is reminiscent of a mailer below used against Ed Koch in the 1977 Democratic primary. Many blamed Andrew Cuomo for that, although he has denied it. Vote for Cuomo, not the homo. That was the thing that was... Do you see that? That's the flyer that was circulated back in 1977. Ed Koch, by the way, still holds Andrew Cuomo responsible for that. Here's the executive director of the New York City Democrats right there. His name is Jeff Berman. He says after this happened, after they said, first of all, completely false story. There they are. They're completely smearing Cynthia Nixon. They're going after the progressive, and that's from the Democratic Party. That's not some anonymous guy. And so he says, Jeff Berman says, the state party sent out a wrong and inappropriate mailer. We will work with the Nixon campaign to send out a mailing of their choosing to the same universe of people. The primary's Thursday.
They're going to overnight it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
They're going to rush on it. They might go UPS if they have to.
And you know what? I don't think, Jeff, the term wrong is really examining why this is so nefarious and bad.
Wrong.
It's wrong.
Whoops.
So this guy right underneath this, the chairman, executive director of the New York Democrats, his stupid tweet saying that it was wrong and inappropriate, but they're not going to, this guy says, you need to identify who created it,
Yes.
who requested it, and who approved it.
Cuomo.
If not, we can only logistically or logically conclude that it was done at the request of senior Cuomo people. If that's true, you need to resign.
As a New Yorker, I requested the ad. As a New Yorker.
As a New Yorker, I will falsely accuse someone of anti-Semitism. So there you go. That really happened. This is the stupid response from the party. And that's that. And that's it. And of course, they're not going to tell you who created it. They're not going to tell you who requested it. They're not going to tell you who approved it. So that's what's happening in New York. Hey, Bernie, how's that takeover of the Democratic Party going? How's that progressive? You can't even, the DNC chair endorsed Andrew Cuomo. One of the most corrupt pieces of it in the history of your party. Hillary Clinton endorsed Andrew Cuomo over a woman. She's a sexist. So again, do you need more evidence? This is not fucking happening. This progressive takeover of the party. This is not happening. I don't know how else to tell you this. You have a better chance of taking over the Pentagon. I'll throw it over to my panel. And by the way, I would gladly be wrong about this. I know it's funny that I say I'll throw it to my panel and I keep talking. That's funny. Let me throw it over my panel. But I'll tell you one more thing.
Let your panel talk, Jimmy.
Okay.
Well, I think, also, who was the last guy he was the director of the, how can we get your message out? And Cynthia Nixon will go ahead and help you and get this out, although it's happening on Thursday.
Yeah.
Why don't they just take a nice headline from the New York Times, and the New York Times say, oops, we no longer endorse Cuomo. How about that?
Well, how ironic that they endorse Cuomo. Well, first of all, here is, I'll show it to you. Here's Andrew Cuomo owes Cynthia Nixon an apology. How about they just send that out to everybody, you mean? Send out this headline?
Well, I also want the New York Times to
unendorse?
Say, yes.
Yeah. Well, they did. It's kind of crazy because that's another story about how they endorsed him. They call him every name in the book, and then they go and endorse him. We're gonna do that story next.
He's awful, but it's what we deserve.
Hold that joke to the next segment, Ron. So, even the New York Times thinks Andrew Cuomo owes Cynthia Nixon an apology over this. They call it a disgrace. They call it all different kinds of things. That's who Andrew Cuomo is. Andrew Cuomo is a disgrace. And boy, I bet the best person in New York to be governor is also the son of the former governor. Can we get rid of this bullshit in America? Can we get rid of this because you have name recognition and you're connected? This nepotistic democracy, which isn't democracy. This is an oligarchy. Andrew Cuomo grew up a privileged kid who's in bed with the corporatists, and now he screws workers on the regular, and poor people and anybody else. Sounds like Chucky Schumer. Don't resist the resistance, Jimmy. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are, you're probably not. It only takes a second to check, and then you have to ring that bell so they send you a notification when we drop a new video. Otherwise, they won't tell you when we drop new videos. And if you like our show, please help support it. Become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week, and we give a live stream. We do a live stream every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time when you could ask us questions, and we answer them back. Thanks for your support.